Schiff.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Donahue, how long have you been practicing as a member of the bar?
Since 2021, Senator.
So for roughly 4 years?
That's correct, Senator. But I graduated law school years before that in 2017.
And as a practicing lawyer 4 years, do you know how many attorneys you'll be supervising at the EPA?
Yes, Senator. It's over 200.
Over 200 lawyers?
Yes. But thankfully, there is a very well laid out hierarchical structure.
And you would be at the top of that hierarchy, right?
That's correct.
So let me ask you, with your 4 years of experience, can you open a criminal investigation without evidence of wrongdoing?
Senator, I'm not a crim pro expert, but the answer to your question would be no.
And if an attorney was asked to open a criminal investigation without probable cause to believe there was evidence of a crime, that would be improper and an abuse of authority, would it not?
It very well may be, yes, Senator.
And you are aware, aren't you, that a senior Department of Justice official with 24 years of experience practicing as an AUSA was asked to write a letter to a bank about the Greenhouse Gas Reduction Fund and to assert that the funds needed to be frozen because of a criminal investigation? You are aware of that?
I read about this in the press, as I'm sure you did. I was not involved and still not involved in whatever criminal probe is ongoing. I'm not.
But you have been a participant in meetings and discussions over trying to go after the greenhouse gas reduction funds, have you not?
Senator, OGC is always involved in matters of great significance as this to provide a sound legal advice.
Well, I'm not asking about the office generally. I'm asking about you personally. You personally have been involved in discussions with others at EPA about going after these funds, have you not?
Senator, I've been involved in a variety of discussions, including those concerning the Greenhouse Gas Reduction Fund, mostly on the civil defense side once we were sued by 3 of the big recipients.
Knowing that it would be improper and abuse of power to open an investigation or to allege that investigation was ongoing without evidence of wrongdoing, you are aware that a senior attorney at the U.S. Attorney's Office of 24 years resigned because she felt she could not ethically write such a letter to the bank or open such an investigation. Are you aware of that?
As I indicated before, Senator, I did see those news reports, but I'm not intimately familiar with her work, or any.
Well, let me ask you this: if you were asked by Lee Zeldin to instruct the lawyers in the criminal division at EPA to open an investigation without evidence of a crime, would you instruct the attorneys to do it nonetheless?
Senator, the direct answer to your question would be no. I will follow the law. And what should the repercussion be if attorneys, as Denise Chung alleges, instructed her to do so in the absence of probable cause? What should the consequence be for those lawyers? I wouldn't want to comment on that, Senator.
Well, I'd like you to comment on it. You're going to be overseeing the department. You're going to be responsible for disciplining attorneys who engage in unethical conduct. So what would your recommendation be for how to discipline an attorney that would use the coercive power of the government, would announce an investigation without a basis for a political reason? What would your recommendation be? Should they continue to work at the EPA, or should they continue to work in the Justice Department?
Senator, I wouldn't like to answer hypotheticals, but...
Well, this is all too real a circumstance, not hypothetical. And the actions that are taking place right now that have caused senior prosecutors to resign over this action by EPA, that have caused other prosecutors to resign over other Department of Justice misconduct regarding the mayor of New York, the illegal actions to target law firms that represent
clients or have in the past, adverse to the president's personal interests. These are all terrible abuses of the coercive power of the federal government. Its most dangerous power, the power to prosecute people. We need people in all these departments who are willing to say no and are willing to sanction those who engage in that kind of unethical conduct. Madam Chair, I yield back.